This land was made for you and me.
I've roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding.
This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
One bright Sunday morning, in the shadow of the steeple of the three-leaf office, I see my people as they stood there hungry, I stood there whistling.
This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back.
This land was made for you and me. Everybody, this land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing, but on the other side it didn't say nothing.
That sign was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Good morning. Welcome to the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm the Reverend Leslie Takahashi, and my pronouns are she and her. And we're so glad that you're here today for this very special annual service where we come together as a community and also gather our flow together through our water service. It's a multi-generational service, these are always very special for us to have, and we're grateful to have everyone here together in the sanctuary today. So if you are here for the first time or early in your visiting, or you're back after a long absence, we want to particularly say thank you and welcome to you for being with us. And if you're checking us out online, which is probably the more common pattern these days, please know you can fill out a visitor card online, and those of you who are here can do so in our Borton Hall after the service today. Today, after the service, we're going to be presenting the first in what will be a periodic Sunday offering called the Second Hour, in which I will go a little bit deeper into a topic that we've talked about in the service. And usually it'll be connected to the service of the day. This week it's connected to today's service, but it's also tied to events happening next Sunday. The UUA's Side of Love, our justice ministry, as well as other national organizations, including the National Faith in Action Organization, are starting a national tour with Dr. Wensler Nosey Sr., the leader of the Apache Stronghold, speaking about an important issue of religious freedom, because religious freedom is going to be something we're going to have to focus on in these coming months. And we are so pleased that Dr. Nosey is actually kicking off this national tour with an appearance at our service next Sunday. So we're really honored about that. So I'll be giving a little background on that so that we can be informed hosts. And then at 4 p.m. next Sunday at the First Presbyterian Church of Oakland, Dr. Nosey will be doing his presentation, which will be part of the national tour. So I hope that some of you can be part of both of those as well. And we are so grateful to be here and be gathered again as a full community. That means that today we're going to hear some voices, we're going to see some movement, we're going to have some unusual dynamics, and that is a good thing. We are going to celebrate it every time we hear it. So welcome to this beloved community.
Good morning. I am Elizabeth Deach, a member of your Board of Trustees, and my pronouns are she and her. Welcome to our service. We begin our services by reading our mission statement together. We bring to life our Unitarian Universe values as we seek truth and work for justice, nurture compassion and courage, reach out to each other and to our larger community of faith, bridge the divisions that wound the human family, transform ourselves and our world. Thank you for your support of our community, including your financial support. Do you have more time than money to donate? See the Just in Time column in the newsletter for ways that you can help out. Also, as the nation's leaders begin an attack on the unhoused, we have members and friends of this congregation who need more support. If you are willing to offer a place to store a few boxes or even have an extra parking space for a vehicle on your property, please let Reverend Leslie know. Here at MDUUC, let's keep showing up. Let's keep showing that we know how to meet the moment through the spirit of mutual aid and welcome. It's good to be together.
And Elizabeth reminds me that next week is actually, this is a very weird Labor Day, is it not? When Sunday is August, September is tomorrow. So that means that next Sunday is actually the first Sunday of the month, which is the day that we invite those who are interested in joining in membership to do so after the service. And we're going to have a special membership gathering as well next Sunday as we start our new year. So with all of that, We are so glad you're here, whether you're a member, a friend, a first-timer, we're glad you're part of our flow. So as we gather, please turn to someone around you and say, I'm glad you're part of this flow.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Good morning. So UU congregations across this world begin their sacred gatherings with one another through lighting our chalice, the symbol of our faith. It is an emblem that was given to us through the Unitarian Service Committee during the Second World War through a artistic design from Austrian Hans Deutsch. It represents our faith's commitment to help people flee countries that do not share power with the people. That's what we call fascism. Given where our nation finds itself, where our religious freedoms are under fire and fascism is rising, it is important that we light this chalice together and take a minute to really embrace its light. As our Jewish siblings and religious ancestors do every Shabbat service, I welcome you all to take in the light with me.
And because it's so important for us to take in the light together, I invite us to join together our voices in our chalice lighting today. We light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We are the church of the open mind. We are the church of the helping hands. We are the church of the loving hearts. And this is a little different. With minds, hands, and hearts, we care for this earth, for each other, and for ourselves.
Okay, and now I would like to invite those who are young or young at heart, maybe today more young at hearts than young, to come on forward because I'm going to try something today that I've never done before, and I need your patience and help. Okay, so many of you know that I am from Texas originally, and I grew up there, and one of the things that I absolutely love that I remember as a kid are thunderstorms. Who loves thunderstorms? Ooh, yeah, right? We don't really have them a lot out here, but I was just in Texas visiting my niece and nephew and Houston, and we had 3 amazing lightning thunderstorms while I was there, and I just love it. And today is our water communion. So I thought it would be fitting to ask your help, since I couldn't bring a thunderstorm with me. I would prefer to do that, but we can't. Today we're going to try and create a thunderstorm here in the sanctuary. Yeah, I know. We'll see. So if you're online, you need to join with us. I'm going to separate us out into 4 sections. So section 1, 2, 3, 4, and you online, pick a section that you want, and it's imperative that you stay with your section. I also realize I'm talking to a Unitarian Universalist congregation, and you're going to do whatever you want anyway, and that is also okay. But the full effect of what we're trying to do will be better if we stay in sections. So I'm going to come around to each section, show you an activity to do with your body, and if you are moved to join us, please join us. So here it goes. I'm going to try this. I have to look at my notes because I didn't memorize. As the storm begins, we hear the wind. And then the rain starts. Little droplets at first, and then the droplets get bigger. Yeah. Great, great. And then in Texas, it's really bad, really banging. Great. And then sometimes there's thunder. And then maybe a little more rain. And it starts to calm down. And that rain gets quieter. And then eventually the wind blows. And then the thunderstorm is over. All right, y'all. I think... So, what does this have to do with today? We are bringing water from our various lives, just like the raindrops, which fall to the ground, find their way into our groundwater, are evaporated up by the sun, into the clouds, down comes the rain, and the whole water cycle happens again. So, that is water communion, our individual drops coming together to build a powerful thing with one another. Thank you for your help. And now we're going to sing. Back to the seats.
Back to their seats with their families for this multi-generational congregation.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you
Good morning again. Thank you. I appreciate the back corner. I'm going to try that again with the whole congregation. Good morning again. Thank you. I like having our youth leadership there. Okay, this is the time in our service where we usually have a call to worship, but today we're going to have a call to flow. Because in a lot of ways, what we're doing today is regathering for a new congregational community year. And this service is a ritual that has been going on for decades. It's one of the rituals that is actually unique to our faith. And it started when a group of women decided they wanted a way, as they regathered, to celebrate the diversity of experience that we all bring into the room. Look around. Someone near you has had a different experience than you have, I promise you, in the last hour. But they wanted to celebrate the diversity of experience that we all have on one side, and they want to celebrate the ways that we're bound together on the other. So it's how we are separate and how we are together. And that's like the flow, right? The drops are separate, and the stream is together. And that's what we're talking about today. Today, as we gather, what we share is so much more than what we did last summer. It's really about where our spirit is and what has sustained us through these weeks. Has anyone had to think about how to be sustained in the last 2 months? Yeah, I thought there might be a few people out there. So that's really what we're gathering about today, and we're starting this new cycle of community. So it's a way, this service, this whole flow, we can think of it as a moving meditation on our community and starting a new church year. There's some things we should think about if we think about a new year of this community. And one of the first is our extended family. And by that I mean those who came before us. And there's a word for that, ancestors, right? And that can feel like a really big, heavy word, but it just means those who have contributed before us so that we might be here today. So let's just take a moment and bring our ancestors into this flow that we are creating. At the end of this service, every year, we take the water that we've gathered, a little bit of it, some of it we use for other rituals during the year, but we take some water out into our memorial garden. And we have a ritual where we remember some who have gone before us in that ritual. I hope many of you will travel out with us today. It's a little hot, we won't be long, but it's a way of remembering the people who helped create this community, who took the risk of having this progressive faith space in a very conservative area, who were willing to build these buildings, who gave of their money and time and energy and creativity and expertise so that we could sit here today in this beautiful place. All the people who have led, all the people who have given themselves and given us ideas about how we could live our values, they're all here in the room with us. Those who planted the plants in the memorial garden will go water today with this water. So as we enter into this flow, we think about those who have come before us, and we think about the community that we need in this moment, right now, meeting this moment. And that's a different community than the one it was even just last week when we gathered. Our intern Rose has left. Our intern Aiden will be with us next week. So it's changing already. There's a flow. There are people who have had to move out of the area, as there are every summer, because it's too expensive to live here, right? There are people who we've lost to death over the summer. They're not here with us today, but they're in that flow. And there are people here who have found us in just the last few months. And they are now here, or who are visiting us because they're with a beloved friend, or they're visiting us because they're checking it out. They're new additions to this community, and they're in our flow for today, and we honor that. Elder Wensler Nosey will be with us next week, as I mentioned, said that it's really important, too, as we gather in these rituals, to hold the moment for the earth as well. And he says we're running out of things. We're running out of water, out of the land base. Copper mines and corporations are buying land everywhere. Nobody's monitoring it because they supply the government, the financial sector, to keep doing what they're doing. And in the meantime, we need to be conscious, or we might wake up, and there's nothing left. So it's this moment, holding this moment as well. And in this moment also, we celebrate what we do. I want us to truly celebrate the freedom of religion that is part of this nation, that we cannot take for granted, just as we have taken so many things for granted and learned we could not take them for granted. So as we participate in the flow of this uniquely Unitarian Universalist ritual, let us not assume that we will always be allowed freely to do that in years to come unless we recommit to what it takes to make that part of our flow for this year. And finally, I want us to concentrate on the fact that what we're doing is a ritual. It's something that has happened year after year after year. It's something we've passed down. We pass down to our children, to our youth. And when I had the great gift of being at a ceremony at the San Carlos Apache, what Elder Wensler said, that one of the reasons we have ritual is that it connects us to the past and the present, but it also reminds us that there is something larger than us, that is beyond this present moment, that is the wisdom of the ages that comes into our space when we summon it through ritual. And so this morning, particularly, I want us to bring awareness of our precious freedom to do what we're about to do, and also connection with that which is larger than us that will hold us in these times to come in this particular church year. We want to concentrate as we see people come up. Half the time, what I'm looking at is the faces when we do these. I just love watching the progression of all these beloved people, including some we don't even know, through our space. So concentrating as we go through this on the sacredness of each person who will stand before us today and who will move before us today, including those of all generations. And also to hold this ritual as a call to return to all our connections, all of our connections that will assist us in times when we need to know that we are held, all of our connections to what is holy and sacred. So in this spirit, I invite us to be called into the flow of this service and of this year of us making community together.
I am going to ask that we all please rise in body or in spirit as we learn a new hymn this morning, and with the help of our chalice choir. Can we say hello, chalice choir? This tune by my muse reminds us of the inherent wisdom each of us has when we connect to our sacred lands, our sacred hearts, and go with the flow to find our way home. Now, the song has two parts, and we are going to learn the first part right now. We're going to learn the first part, we're going to learn the second part, and then we're going to put it all together, okay? So choose your own path.
Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home.
Please sing with us.
Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home. Finding my way, 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 finding my way back home.
Here's the second part. It goes like this.
Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea?
Please join us.
Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me. Oh, river, who will I be when I reach the sea?
Let's put it all together.
Oh, river, I hear you, feel you calling me.
Thank you, sopranos and altos.
Finding my way, finding my way, finding my way, finding my way. Who will I be when I reach my way back home?
One more time.
Finding my way, finding my way, finding my way, finding my way. I hear you, feel you finding my way back home. Finding my way, finding my way, finding my way, finding my way. Who will I be when finding my way back home?
I am going to invite us to do something for our meditation that might seem a little unusual, and that is to wiggle as hard as you can. Everybody, wiggle whatever needs to be wiggled, move it. We're going to be talking about wholeness, so do the biggest gesture you can without killing your neighbor. We do not want to injure anyone. Okay? So we're kind of trying to bring in all of that, all of that, all of that. Oh. And I'm going to invite us to just for a moment lower our gaze or shut our eyes, but also plant our feet if your body wants to do this. And any of these things is only what your body wants to do. So put your feet on the ground or the riser if you're the choir. And just use that as a way of thinking about this earth and how you're centered and grounded in this earth. And you might even want to tap your feet as you're sitting. Just lift your toes up a little bit, just to allow yourself to feel that grounding and how grateful you are to have something under you, holding you. And I'm going to invite you to think about something that when things are hard, you've had a bad day, someone made you mad, someone made you sad. Think about something that you do or someone you reach out to who can help you hold that with you. And if you want to, you don't even have to open your eyes to do this. You can just take one of your hands and put it in the other hand. You can just clasp your own hand as if you're clasping the hand of that person who's there for you when you need it. And sometimes the people that are there for us are across a screen or a phone. They're not right next to us, but it's that gesture of knowing we're connected. And then I'm going to invite you to think about how you have people in your life who have given you teachings. Maybe there's some teachings from your culture, your ancestors. We're each of us grounded in a tradition which began with the relationship with the earth. So we can tap our feet again. Maybe you have a teaching. Maybe you've woken up and you're like, oh, I'm closer to being one of those elders than I thought I was. I should pass this down. But I'm going to invite you to take your fingertips, just like you're touching your thumb to your thumb, your index finger to your index finger, your middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, all to each other. And just press into each other like the connection that we know we want to keep making. Every one of us in our teachings, our religious freedom allows us to say that every one of us contains the holy and the sacred. And our job in this time is to be sure that every one of us knows it, especially when we need to. So the last thing we're going to do in this meditation is I'm going to invite you to give yourself a hug. And I know some people really hate doing this, but just your eyes are closed. Your neighbor's eyes are mostly closed. You know they're really looking at... No, I'm just kidding. Just give yourself a really big hug, because you know what? We must affirm ourselves every day. And on the days when we can't, we affirm one another. We reach out. We let someone know we need it. We always care for each other. And we remember that there's something larger than we are. So as you prepare to open your eyes, I'm going to invite you, if your neck and shoulders allow it, just to kind of bring your gaze upward as if you're staring at the sky, and then open your eyes, looking at our beautiful rainbow banners here. And maybe you can, if you're sitting in certain places, you can actually see the actual sky. But let us just remember that we are part of the body of creation, and for that, and in that, we hold that sacredness within us, and that is always the truest blessing. Thank you.
Please remain seated as we sing our meditation song. And I'm going to ask the choir to please support us by singing the drone of this song, which goes, breathe in this key, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jim Lincoln. He, him, his, a member of your Board of Trustees. I love MDUUC's water service in the fall and the flower communion in the spring. Both are joyful celebrations of nature in our faith tradition, poignant rituals of spiritual connection that mark the beginning and end of the church year. As a devoted hiker and camper, I personally experience the spiritual most intensely in my encounters with nature. Now, that may be easier to do in the natural splendor of Northern California that we who live here are so privileged to experience and enjoy. Two defining parts of that natural landscape I'd like to eulogize this morning for the way water configures and glorifies them are first, the Pacific Ocean, particularly that stretch of it that runs from Big Sur to Point Reyes and up to Mendocino. And secondly, the Sierra Nevada mountain range, especially that chunk of it extending from Yosemite National Park on the south to Sonora Pass on Highway 108 to the north. I know you've heard of Yosemite National Park. You may or may not have heard of Sonora Pass, and that's a good thing. We don't want too many people to know about this. The Pacific Ocean is such a defining geological feature of California. It's mind-bogglingly vast, with deep blue, gray, and green hues depending on the weather and the time of day. Usually loud with the roar of crashing white-crested waves, teeming with plant and animal life, both in its shallow tide pools and its deep underwater canyons. One of these days, the mighty Pacific may also deliver to us a hugely destructive tsunami. Signs all along the coast warn of that possibility. But hey, we're Californians and we're used to living on the edge. The waters that shimmer and flow and thread through the Sierra are not the mountain's most conspicuous geological feature. That would be the tall pine forests and dramatic rock cliff and peak formations. But the rushing and channeling of water in all of its forms, liquid, snow, and ice, carved out the Sierra through the millennia, combined with the forces of wind and shifting tectonic plates. And some of the most scenic and beautiful aspects of the Sierra today are all about water. Yosemite, Bridal Veil, Vernal, and other falls in Yosemite Valley are so powerful and glorious in early spring, occasionally filtering the sunlight into brilliant rainbows and other fiery displays of light. Tenaya Lake, east on 120, the Tioga Road, east of the valley, is just unworldly. I was there about a month ago in its beauty and peacefulness. To sit by its placid, glistening waters that mirror the surrounding mountain peaks and ridges both thrills and calms the spirit. Now, my favorite hike for many years has been the moderately challenging trek through the emigrant wilderness near Sonora Pass to the idyllic High Sierra Relief Reservoir. The trail begins at the Kennedy Meadows Resort and Pack Station on the western side of the pass. It then winds through towering peaks and cliffs up a steep rocky trail. Trekking poles are a must here, all the while accompanied by the thundering whitewater rapids of the Stanislaus River. Water gives us human beings life and vitality, as it also does the bountiful and beautiful natural world we inhabit. And here's the segue to the offering. Likewise, gifts of money and time enable the blossoming and fruition of all our meaningful and valuable church programs, services, and justice activities, and the maintenance of our buildings and grounds. So now that I have primed the pump and your gifts are ready to flow like a mighty stream into the coffers of the church, I will remind you of the drill. Those of you watching on live stream might want to access the church app on the MDUUC website and follow the instructions there on how to use your credit card or bank transfer to give. Those of you here in the sanctuary can either do the same or drop some cash or a check in the basket as our friendly ushers pass it around. Would the ushers please come forward? the offering. To the work of this community in transforming ourselves and our world, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings.
And as we prepare to gather our waters today, I'm going to invite us to all read together, and the words will be on the screen. And again, let's try to hear one another. Let's sound our voices out. As we share this water, may we remember the resilience of connection. As we share this water, may we remember the resilience of memory and those who came before. As we share this water, may we remember the resilience of the earth which holds us. As we share this water, may we remember the resilience of wisdom which is all around us. As we share this water, may we remember the resilience of those who come after us, who will need our pledge to provide that. As we share this water, may we remember the persistence of water and may it continue to flow among us.
So in a moment, we will invite you forward to take the water that you have brought with us or with you and join it into our large bowl on the table. And if you don't have water with you, don't worry, we have water for you. And if you are online, I have already let you know that if you would just type in your water wish or hope, I will go ahead and read it and pour into the bowl for you.
And as we continue to try to be inclusive in our community as part of our shared values, let us remember that for some people, it is harder to wait in line than others. That might be because we've never had to wait in line and we're only this high. It might be because our bodies don't like to do that and stand in one place for a really long time. So as you come up, we're going to ask our choir to go because we so often don't honor them enough. So we'll have our choir go first, and after that, after we've sung our hymn once, they can come forward. And then we'll go from the back forward, and we're going to ask you to come up the sides where Linda and Mark will be with microphones. And and then if you want to come to the front of the line, you are not cutting in line. You are allowing us to honor you. So if for any reason you need to come forward in the line, please do so. Just everyone will make room. And this is an accessibility issue I also want to talk about, and that is that generationally it is hard for some of us to listen to a lot of words. So I'm going to invite you to share, as you share your water, a word or phrase that represents what your water means to you, not a whole story today. And that way we can continue to pass this tradition down to other generations. So we're going to hear the song that will be our periodic song throughout our sharing, and then we will invite the choir to come down and start our sharing.
And it's telling me that our song
Chester.
Tranquility.
My water symbolizes the torrential storms and the hailstorms I was in this summer.
My water represents family connections.
My water represents giving away to things and the unstoppable flow of time.
Water from northern Washington representing healing and renewal.
Hope and confidence.
My water represents gratefulness.
And if the folks at the back row want to start coming up this side and the other side, that'd be great.
I celebrate the beauty and joy of being in the water of the headwaters of the Stanislaus River.
My water stands for peace and joy.
This is
My
Fort
water
Maurice
represents
from the Russian
serenity.
River.
My water represents peace that flows from myself and out to the world.
Community.
When I go to protests, I always bring a first aid kit and snacks and water.
This water represents family connections.
This is my companion on a life on two wheels.
Our water represents our trip to the northwest. We love it there.
Bringing some creativity and joy with my waters.
My water represents the Payette River and family.
There's a river.
My water represents recognizing the past and moving into the future.
There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Rana Miller Owen, garden, fruits, and vegetables.
My water represents my prayer that I'm safe in this community.
My water represents healing, connection, and joy from a public swimming pool.
My water represents melting ice.
My water represents life and growth.
My water represents love flowing in our lives.
A better world for us all.
From David Longfellow, who's joining us online, my water represents my dog glows water bowl.
The rain that fell on us when we went to Valencia to see my granddaughter graduate from high school.
My water represents growth into the uncomfortable places.
My water represents acceptance and forgiveness.
My water represents life and healing.
Maria Elena Acosta online says her water is for our hearts, keeping the courage for the hope and love, continuing our paths for generations to come.
This represents
My water represents peace and justice for all.
Love that's held together my family.
Our water represents the water cycle.
Water reminds me that many drops can change paths, can move boulders, and can keep people afloat.
There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart.
Mary Nail online is saying that the waters that they bring are virtual waters connecting to my family, especially my siblings who I was blessed to spend time with this week.
Water from the Pacific Ocean, celebrating glorious summer days together with family and friends.
My water represents hope and healing.
That water was from my daughter's water bottle, which is insulated, and it represents hope and love that I wish to be protected.
My water represents the way things persevere, even in new shapes and forms.
Thank you.
My water represents community and connections.
Representing healing and safety.
Transformation and renewal. Respect for the earth and all life.
Our water represents the time we spent with friends and families.
My water represents respect for gender fluidity.
There's a river flowing in my life. There's a river flowing in my mind. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind.
My water represents the disaster of Katrina 20 years ago, which I faced.
Water can soothe, and water can cut through a rock.
The flow of time.
This is water collected from rooftop during the rainwater from a rooftop. And it represents the rising groundwater of eastern Maryland, where
Harriet Tubman was born. And my wish is for people who need it to be allowed to collect rainwater on their roofs.
This water is for good health and confidence. And Dahlia, do you want to say something?
This represents the strength of community.
Mother Ocean.
My water is for safety, all creatures, animals, and humans that are in the water.
This water represents a safe, happy home.
This borrowed water represents word I received this summer that a literary journey that began last summer will, at the conclusion of this summer, be unleashed on the world.
This is in appreciation of the support of the church and other communities that I belong to.
This water is from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, and represents family gatherings and a sense of belonging.
My water represents forgiveness, washing away that which doesn't serve us anymore.
This water represents how appreciative I am of the life I have lived.
This water represents the life-giving lakes and rivers of the Sierra Nevada.
This water represents my hope that there will be water for my newborn granddaughter, Livia.
This water represents the sustenance that I carry in my car, in a cooler, and especially on days like this, I offer water to the unhoused on the street.
This water represents the blessings of home and not taking it for granted.
This water represents the collective sacredness of all that's been shared.
Community.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my
Thank you all for your words. And as we conclude, we are putting some of the water from this ritual into these pitchers, and they will go into the garden with us following this service. So if you wish to come and offer a little bit in memory of someone, or just in general, in memory of all who went before us, please join us as we leave
And let's just take a moment and celebrate what's most important about this ritual, which is one another, and look around and see this community and be grateful. Thank you.
Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing our closing hymn by Ecofeminist composer Carolyn McDade, which invites us to awareness of our unity with the natural world. We're going to sing verses 3 and 4. I feel the tides as they answer the moon, rushing on a far distant sand. Winging my song is the wind of my breast, and my love blows over the land. And my love, and my love, and my love blows over the land. My foot carries stains of the old into new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Wondrous our faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day.
And just like we began our service, I ask us all to take a moment and let the light of our faith enter our hearts one last time. So bring that in if you'd like.
And these are our words of benediction, words of Wensler Nosey, who I hope many of you will help us host next week. The only loyalty I have is to what God gave the world. It's what God gave us, and that's where our loyalty should be. It's so true that there has to be a new narrative, a new birth, what we call healing, and it has to begin with ourselves. If we don't look at ourselves, how are we going to heal? You can't look at others and prescribe the antidote. You have to look at yourself. Each person has to look at themselves and heal.
We extinguish this flame, but not the spirit of community which we carry with us into the greater world.